Hello everyone, welcome to another new video of mine. Hope all of you are fine and doing very well. In this video, I'm going to give you line by line analysis and simple understanding of the poem Dawn at Puri by the famous modern poet Jayanta Mahapatra. So this poem is included in almost all the UG and PG syllabus across the universities in India. So I think this video is going to be very helpful for all of you. Jayant Mahapatra, basically, he is a poet from Orissa, and his background is very interesting. He received his MSc in science. However, he got interested, and as a result, his poetry talks about the skepticism of a man who has always been interested in science. So Jayant Mahapatra is known as one of the important modern poets of India, and Donat Puri gives us an interesting idea about his understanding of what is religion in the onslaught of modernity in India. So let's read the poem line by line and we will try to understand the literal meaning. Endless crow noises, a skull in the holy sands, tilts its empty country towards hunger. In a religious place like Puri, Benares, we always expect the dawn to be very promising, calm, quiet. But surprisingly, the poem opens with the picture of a very bizarre images, like the crows, which are generally associated with the negativities, death, and loss of hope. Here, all the crows are there in the morning sky, and there is a human skull. The human skull is uh, looking as if it is looking at the hungry country, as if the entire country is devoid of hope, optimism. At the same time, there is no scope for rejuvenation. Obviously, the opening lines give a very bleak picture of life. Next, he gives us the imagery of widows. White-clad widowed women past the centers of their lives are waiting to enter the great temple. Here, by the great temple, the reference is to the famous mandir in Orissa. And here, the white-clad widowed women means the widows who are wearing white saris, and as a morning ritual for them, they are waiting in a long queue to enter the entire big temple. And their imagery is very symbolic. It is giving us once again a picture of desolation and hopelessness of life. And widows are basically the symbolic representation of negation of life, because they are trapped into the societal rules, and as a result they are unable to enjoy all the material bliss of life. At the same time, they are unable to enjoy the vibes of life, so to speak. Next para, he is giving us another bleak picture. Their austere eyes stare like those caught in a net, hanging by the dawn's shining strands of faith. So the widows and their eyes are metaphorically compared to austere eyes, because uh, society has mandated them to live a life like a celibate, and as a result, their eyes are very hungry because they are unable to enjoy the material fulfillments of life. So they are living life like the ascetic, like the renunciate, and when they are looking at the great temple, which is supposed to bring the promise of hope and fulfillment of life, but in front of the great temple, their eyes are hungry. Why hungry? Because they are looking for the meaning of life, which they are unable to enjoy in this lifetime. The pale early light catches ruined, leprous shells leaning against one another, a mass of crouched faces without names. Once again, the modern life and its association with filth, dirt, and squalor, all are portrayed very beautifully in this line. Here, the poet is describing all the seashells, they are lining up one another, on the seashore, and it is again giving us the hopeless picture of life, as if nothing is happening here. Everything has ceased to progress. So it is a very haunting picture of modern life where there is no hope, no promise of rejuvenation, and at the same time, life has been stuck with all the negativities around it. Next para. And suddenly breaks out of my hide into the smoky blaze of a sullen solitary pyre that fills my aging mother. So the poet was thinking everything, looking at the morning sky in Puri, and suddenly he gets to see the funeral pyre. And when the smoke is going upward, he realizes it was also his aged mother's last wish to be cremated here. As you know, the place is known as a very sacred Hindu shrine. So as a result, all the Hindus they wish to be cremated here. It is generally their last wish. So as a result, the poet is saying his aged mother is also, as a traditional woman, she has this kind of idea. But after experiencing the dawn in such a famous Hindu shrine, he realizes religion itself is a falsity, because religion here is unable to offer you the solace, the promise of rejuvenation, and as a result, he questions the meaning of religion in the context of the modern life in this famous Hindu shrine. So the poem is basically a very negative understanding and representation of the modern life and the very general ideas associated with the Hindu shrine Puri. He questions, and also he lashes back society for being so mechanical, for being so rigid, where life of an individual is not at all being valued. Rather, society is operating based on the rigid rules and customs. I hope this is the simple understanding of the entire poem. You will find this video very helpful. If you like this video, do share my videos, and please subscribe to my YouTube channel for more similar updates. Thanks for watching.